Classic League Podcast time!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 288 of the Classic Elite Podcast. My name is Scott, and that man leaving trails of fire behind him, who's out of time, is Dustin. What's going on, man?
I'm good. I'm still riding an adrenaline high from beating a general in Sekiro.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yes, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you've been playing some Sekiro, man. I'm excited to... Hey, Vepper, good to see you.
Vepper?
I am excited to hear what you have to say about Sekiro. You being such a big Dark Souls fan, refresh my memory, are you lukewarm on Bloodborne, or did you love that too?
I really liked it. Like the Souls games, I would give like 9.5s and 10s.
Mm-hmm.
Bloodborne, I would give like a 9.25.
Oh, okay.
So it's really, really good.
Okay. So yes, we will have some Sekiro talk, which is nice. Yeah. So before we jump into video games, how's the week been, man? What you been doing?
So far, so good. I've been mostly working, doing like weird... I've had like something weird come up every day this week. Like Monday, my nephew did stand-up at his senior talent show.
Dude, he has got cojones.
Yeah. And he, on top of that, he was good.
That's amazing.
Like, he was actually really good. He won third place, and he won like $75.
Really?
Yeah. So he hasn't even graduated yet. He's making money doing comedy.
Good for him, man.
Yeah.
Not to jump in before Tuesday. I'm sorry, I'm going to. One of my good buddies, who is a stand-up comic professionally, lives out in Chicago, is doing an event here in Findlay this weekend. So I'm going to get to... My favorite part is his name is Mike Myers. Like, just happened to be Mike Myers.
That's awesome.
But he is an excellent stand-up comic. If you're in the Chicago area, definitely follow... just look for Mike Myers in Chicago. I forget what his Twitter name is. He's an awesome guy. So, all right, but so your nephew is awesome at stand-up.
Yes.
Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever. What else popped up this week that got you?
So yesterday I had to pick up a recliner from my wife's uncle and aunt.
Okay.
And it was just one of those weird errand things that comes up.
Yeah. When you're married, I suppose I hear stories about
Yes.
the drop everything honeydews.
Yeah, they gave it to us for free, and it's a nice recliner.
Can't complain, man.
Yeah.
Especially when you got two little ones running around. Simon's one, which has got a surprise.
Yeah. Today.
Today? Oh, happy birthday to the little guy.
Yeah.
Very cool. He's probably outgrown my onesie, which is sad.
Yeah.
But
well, you might be able to squeeze into it.
Cram him in there for one more picture. Hopefully you'll have another one. You'll have a little girl, and she'll be rocking the hand-me-downs. It'd just be funny to have a huh?
Or Maria.
Sypha, for sure.
Oh, Sypha. Yeah, that's way better.
Come on. I finished Castlevania Season 2 on Netflix.
Yes. What'd you think?
I can't wait for Season 3.
Right.
I want to say my favorite part about Season 2 is at the end of the last episode, it says Season 3 confirmed. But
yes.
Like, they don't even mess around. I think that I feel like I saw that they had picked up enough for those already. I think Season 2 and 3 were bought at the same time, or optioned, or whatever the term is. But man, you were right. It was a heavy, unexpected part in that show, and I'm just very excited to... It's starting to feel like anime, I guess, where it's like, this could go on forever.
Yeah.
The writing was excellent. There was great action scenes. Really fun story. I don't know. It went by quick. This 8 episodes seemed just as fast as the 4 from season 1.
Yeah.
So thank you for nudging me to get motivated to do that.
Oh my goodness, man! The scene.
I don't want to talk about it on air because it's still too. We can mention it off, but go ahead.
It involves Dracula's castle.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay, let's talk about that.
Oh my gosh.
What's up, Zach? Hey, DIVX, what's going on, guys? I want to hear what you have to say because I've got some thoughts on just related to the video game and the castle. Yeah, let's talk about that.
So, the what I'm talking about specifically is when they finally enter the castle for the first time.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay, and it's all three of them fighting, and Bloody Tears kicks in.
Yes, and they even show all the gears later in that scene. It gave me chills.
Yeah,
it was the
I'm
best.
Up a little thinking about it.
It was such an amazing rendition of it too. It was perfect for the show. It didn't feel out of place. Yeah, dude, I'm right there with you. It was excellent.
Oh my gosh, I was like, my life has led to this moment right now. This is the greatest thing that's ever happened.
As a fan, it's got to be a great payoff. I mean, for someone like you, I'm a new fan. You've definitely converted me. I adore Castlevania now. I
was like the Star Wars trailer guy when it first happened.
The guy that was like crying and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just it was really well done. It was another thing with that Adi Shankar. I don't know what it is. The Indian guy that wears like the black like makeup under his eyes. Everything he touches, I love.
He looks like Indian Chris Angel.
He does look like an Indian Chris Angel, and sometimes he acts a little bit like the way Aziz Ansari acts on Parks and Rec, like a real like in your face go get it like Johnny Hustle, except he's like successful. Where Tom in that show like fails all the time, but anyways, and let's be honest, it was the skinny Indian guy is definitely why I thought of Tom Haverford from Parks and Rec.
Yeah,
but I've also recently been marathoning that too, so. But anyways, I was just watching. It was like Oliver Harper's Judge Dredd thing, or maybe someone else doing a Judge Dredd 2012 video, and I forgot Adi Shankar is a producer on that movie,
dude.
Like, and then all the shorts, like that Power Rangers 15-minute short he did was amazing. His Punisher short with the guy that was the male prostitute in that HBO show and was the Punisher. With like Rebecca Romaine, was that who was in that with him? And like 04? Is that his name?
Thomas Jane, yeah.
The one that's at the laundromat, like that little 10-minute Punisher. And then this, like, I'm a huge fan of that guy. Whatever he touches, I'm gonna give a try to. I mean, heck, he worked with Alex Garland, who I've already gushed over countless times on this show.
Right.
So, yeah, very cool. Well, I guess. Let's talk about some video games and whatnot. Dustin, I have a correction.
Okay.
So right after we recorded last week, when you make a mistake and it makes your skin crawl?
Yeah.
I had that.
Oh.
So after we recorded last week, I forget what show I was listening to, but immediately they read off the specs of the PS5 and then they said something about Radeon graphics. I'm like, I was so confident that they abandoned that branding. They did not. I guess I need to get outside of my tech YouTube bubble to realize that AMD graphically does more than something called Ryzen right now. So my apologies for having that wrong. But it was like right after I was like, damn it, I was so confident. How embarrassing. But that's part of doing a live podcast, right?
Yep. So,
yeah, you were right. It was radio. Whatever source you read or were listening to, you're right. It's under the Radeon branding. It's obviously still AMD. But, yeah, then there was other speculation today. I'm not going to link the article or talk about it much. But based on speculation, the bit wars are happening, man, because they're like, the Xbox Next is going to be so much more powerful than PS5. And it's just like... I got to tell you one thing, though. I think it was Ben Pack. Someone on the Bombcast was like, what if the Xbox One S just, this all digital thing that we talked about last week, Like, what if that just becomes the minimum box for the streaming solution? I would be through the moon because I would already have the next Xbox because I would just do the streaming version because I've got good internet.
Yeah.
I could just... So between my PC and my Xbox, I don't even have to invest it. I wouldn't have to invest in other hardware. And I could still get a really good experience. Hypothetically. Who knows if that's true or not. But man, that would be great if it was. That was just him.
You already own it.
I already have it. Yeah.
Yeah. That would be Xbox
now
E3 presentation. Yeah.
Oh, Sony already did that. Not good branding. See, that's why I'm not a professional marketer. I don't know. It just would be cool if there was, if I can not have to do major upgrades and still get to play Cyberpunk or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be cool. So, but yeah, corrections. I caught myself. So if you have corrections for us, please let us know in the comments of the YouTube broadcast or classicelite@gmail.com.
Make sure to put them in all caps.
All caps, rage. I like when people rage at us. It doesn't happen that often. We mostly have very nice people that listen, so they're usually very polite.
Yeah.
Even like Dumez, for example, like he's hilarious, but if he's correcting us, he's usually like very like, hey, he doesn't say, hey, you idiots. You know, it's appreciated. So, all right, well, Dustin, this is basically your production this week. I think this is the first time I can remember that you did the vast majority of the news. So where do you want to start, man? These are great topics.
Let's start with, we can just go top to bottom.
Okay.
So I saw Retronauts shared this on Twitter. It's from Silicon Era. And it is the top 20 games of the, I want to go Heisei era, which is basically a 20-year era in Japan. But Famitsu asked all of their readers to vote on the best games in that 20-year period. It's January 8th, 1989 to May 1st, 2019.
Which is that covers our podcast range pretty much. The vast majority of what we talk about. 7,100 people.
Yeah.
It's not a small amount. This is definitely a great sample size of their readership.
Yeah.
Did you ever do prob and stats? Did you ever get into that at all in college or high school or anything like that?
A little?
If you have a truly random sample, I think you only need 30 people to be able to, or 30 data points to be able to make a lot of determinations between the first standard deviations, like the regular bell curve. So you know that 7,100 definitely has to be representative of their reader base.
Yeah.
Now, this is a hardcore reader base, though, as you will find out as we read through the list. These are not casuals that are voting on these.
We were going to go 20-1.
Thank you.
And it is so it's a tie at number 20 between Final Fantasy 11 and Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. 19 is Final Fantasy 15, which is surprising.
It is.
For one of the new ones to make it on here.
You got boy bands and cars, I guess it's not that surprising. Huh?
I never played it. 15.
Tony played it. He liked it a lot.
I need to get around to doing that. Well, I'm gonna need to.
It's a long game, though. It's one of these modern ones. I think. Here I am being confident again, but I'm shook, man.
17 is tied between Kingdom Hearts and Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
What do you think about that? I know you're a Metal Gear guy. I'd like to... I'm going to drag this out.
Snake Eater is far better than Kingdom Hearts, in my opinion.
What about related to... Sorry to ruin the list, but, I mean, is this the best Metal Gear game? Metal Gear Solid?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe a decade ago, I'd probably argue with you. But now that I've kind of looked back on all of them, yeah, Snake Eater is pretty excellent.
You're not a punk anymore?
That's right. Let's see. 16 is Monster Hunter Portable Second G, because this is Japan that they're asking this survey from. 15 is Tactics Ogre. 14 Splatoon 2.
That's impressive. I just got to say, having Nintendo do a goofy shooter and having its sequel show up on this list. I mean, that's a staggering amount of games.
Like the games that you're going up against in this 20-year period are like the best video games ever created.
So it feels like I've never heard anybody really talk too much trash about Splatoon or Splatoon 2. I guess this is why. I mean, it's that I don't know why this one stands out to me as probably the most shocking in this list.
Yeah.
There's one other that is surprising to me, but it's just because of how high it is, kind of a thing. But Splatoon 2, the top 20 game over the last 20 years. Are you really? That's all. I mean, that's cool. I never would have guessed that to be on here. Sorry.
No, it's Nintendo. What they touch in, it's magic, man.
They do have a juice. There was one of those art companies or creators that just, I don't know. They got something to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. 13, Mother 2, which was Earthbound here. 12 is Suikoden 2.
I think that's
11?
Game Dave's face. It's 2. I think that's Game Dave from YouTube that you turned me on to. I think that's maybe his favorite game of all time. I feel like he referenced that a few times.
I think it's also like super rare. You can't find copies of it for PS1 without paying a whole bunch of money. 11 is Vainglory.
Never even heard of it.
Me either. Retronauts, they said one of the tweets that they followed up with was number 11 is Vainglory, which is also the number of seconds that I'd known that there's a video game called Vainglory.
Okay, which I learned about. I was today's years old or whatever that name is.
Yeah. 10 is Xenogears. Number 9 is Dragon Quest V. Number 8, Pokemon Red, Green, Blue, Yellow. Number 7 is Final Fantasy X.
That's surprising. That's not the one I would mention, but I hear a lot of shit about Final Fantasy X. Maybe it's because they did that sequel as well.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't this have some of that really bad voice acting?
Yeah.
That's memed a lot. So
The one where they're laughing.
yeah, the blonde guy on the beach. It's like ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Have you ever played that game before?
Oh no, dude! No, come on.
I didn't think so. And you know that scene, which is
That shows. Yeah, right.
Number 6, Ocarina of Time. Of course, that's going to be on here.
Yep.
Number 5, Okami. I'm a little surprised at that.
I am as well. I guess because they just did the remake or they announced the remake. Did that come out? Like that's like the wolf cell shaded game, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that paints a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Number
Again, it's
4
Japan, so like that's just we're clearly out of touch with that. But I hear like Michael Huber from Easy Allies has been Okami crazy, and I feel like he's more in tune with the Japanese taste of games.
Yeah.
And so it seemed like it was like almost a running meme that he always asked for this to be a remake, and then they actually did it, and he's like, "You just gotta believe." Like, there's a joke over there that like, because he openly like hoped and prayed for Shenmue 3 when that sounded like the most absurd thing of all time. So he has like 3 or 4 games that he's publicly like wished into existence.
That's awesome.
This is fun, and Okami's one of them.
Chrono Trigger 3.
Get on it, man. Get on it.
Yeah.
Oh, do you remember that trailer from the guy that did Owlboy?
Yeah. Dude.
That's almost hard. That's bittersweet because it's one of the most amazing trailers I've ever seen. That is fake.
Oh, goodness. Okay, so number 4, Final Fantasy VII. Number 3, which I think is the one you're going to say.
Do you know how many times I've almost bought this game? At least a dozen.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for it to drop under $29.99. I think I just got to pull the trigger. Like, everything I've heard about it, this is my kind of game.
Yeah.
I remember Mark from Classic Game Room being really into the first one. I know this is a very different game, But something about his review always really stuck out to me. And so the word, I guess the game title Nier, I don't know, just always stuck with me. And then when I saw all the praise about Automata, I was like, okay, that like sounds fun and goofy, but everyone was really careful not to spoil things about it. And then I heard little bits of tease spoilers. I'm like, oh my God, it's made for me. I gotta play this game. I heard the word chiptunes involved, and I'm like, all right, I got it. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, so there's little like throwbacks to 8-bit stuff, and I'm like, all right, okay, let's do it. That's Square, right? Square
That
Enix?
is...
No. Could that be Platinum?
Grasshopper? Platinum. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Platinum.
Maybe Square published it?
Maybe.
I don't know. Why don't you finish out the list, because we're obviously going to gush. I'll find the answer to that here.
All right. So number 2, again, Nintendo creating pure gold. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I'm actually, now that I think about it, I'm quite upset that Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link isn't on here. Maybe that's what Vainglory is in Japan.
Oh, that would be... They had a unintentional typo.
Yes. And, good.
Square is somewhere involved in this. I want to, before we get to the showstopper, the real thing. Platinum Games definitely did it, and Square published it.
Sweet.
So maybe I should get my confidence back.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe I'm not always wrong.
It was a slam dunk on both occasions.
It's just one of those things. You want me on your trivia team, I guess. You don't want me fact checking though. So yeah, let's talk about number 1, man.
It's the Mighty Mac Daddy of all video games, Chrono Trigger.
Poor Kevin. He's got to just feel so left out. He just doesn't like the game. I think I told you, but I really enjoy the story. It was listening to something on RetroWare TV. I don't know if it was one of the podcasts that Derek Alexander did or if it was a video on RetroWare TV. This is like 2008 or something like that. Well, before Classic Leap, before even starting a podcast was ever in my mind. I played this on an emulator on my Toshiba laptop, and it was awesome. It was the first turn-based game I'd ever really enjoyed. So I have a real soft spot for it. It looks like I started on a great one.
Yeah.
I know you love the game. Let's talk about it. What are some of the things that you love about the game, even if you've already mentioned it before?
It's the backstory of how it was developed. Like it's like video game syzygy. It'll never happen. Well, I won't say it never happen again because
you can.
It would be awesome if it did.
Yeah.
But it was, Hironobu Sakaguchi, Akira Toriyama, Nobuo Uematsu, like every awesome Japanese creator between anime and video games, they were all involved in this.
Yes.
Yasunori Mitsuda. And I think like this rings truer to me about like what it feels like to be a kid than Earthbound ever did. Because I played Earthbound when I was a kid, and I was just like, this is kind of dumb. I wish I was playing something that wasn't stupid.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the damn Yankees of development. Remember they had like Ted Nugent and like the guy from Styx and all that?
Yeah.
Actually, damn Yankees sucked. That was just like a super group reference. This game actually was awesome.
The audio slave of video games. How about that?
I hated Audio Slave.
Really?
Yeah. But I love Rage and I love Soundgarden, but
about Temple of the Dog of video games.
Great Pool. Yeah, we'll go with that because Hunger Strike's an amazing song. So we'll go with that. Sometimes I think Pearl Jam's overrated.
Yeah.
But it's still that I'm definitely going to go with Temple of the Dog. I can stomach that on the show.
Okay. What was that one with the lead singer of Stone Temple Pilots? And was it Guns N' Roses?
It was, and it was oh my gosh.
Hanson.
It makes me sick that I don't know that. Velvet Revolver.
Yes.
Before chat got it. Okay. Whew. Thank you.
Scott Weiland? Is that the lead singer?
Weiland, yes.
Weiland, yeah. There we go.
From Chicago, big Notre Dame fan. Rest in peace.
Yeah. All right.
Love Scott Weiland. I actually really love Scott Weiland.
Hey.
I was just listening to it. Any vinyl up front there is one I've been listening to. So Genesis and Stone Temple Pilots are sitting up front right now.
Was that their second album?
Is this purple?
Vaseline?
Yeah, this has got Vaseline on it. Yeah, I think this is the second.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah, it's their second one. I think Core's their first one, or Purple's their first one.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's the two I love.
My dad and I bought that cassette tape and listened to it when we drove to the beach one year.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got Vaseline and Big Empty and Interstate Love Song, and it's wild. It's got Dead and Bloated. Like, that album is like a greatest hits, and you're like, holy shit, that was on one CD. That's cool. Yeah, it's the only song I don't like on it is it Meat Plow is the first song? No, Dead and Bloated is not on that one. I'm sorry. But it has a lot of hits. Like, other than the first track, I adore all of them.
Yeah, I think Meat Plow is the first one.
Yeah, I think Meat Plow is the one I don't like, and then everything else I love. So I think Dead and Bloated is the first one off of whichever one that's not.
Yeah. Correct, yeah.
So,
Chrono Trigger. Real quick, driving to the beach, reading all the lyrics on the liner notes.
How old were you then? Like grade school, right? Like middle school? 93, 94?
I was probably 11, 12, yeah.
What? All right. Like, I was in my mom's van by myself. She was getting my brother from practice or something. And Big Empty came on. Or, no, it wasn't Big Empty. It wasn't on either of these. It was Big Bang Baby. And I was like, oh, this song is so good. And I got in trouble for having it too loud. And it made me think, I can't wait till I have my own car and I can just like listen to whatever songs I want. Like, because my mom came back we had a Dodge Caravan. My mom came back and was like, I can hear you from the stands. And I'm like, oh, Core. Yes, thank you, Iceman. I think, which one do I have? Is that Purple or Core? I'm embarrassed I don't know that. It's cool because it doesn't say. Let me take it out. It's got I don't know if that's Japanese or Chinese. Yeah, Meat Plow, Vaseline, Loungefly, Interstate Love Song, Still Remains, Pretty Penny is side one of an album. I love every one of those songs except for Meat Plow. And then let's look at side two real quick. Side two, Silver Gun Superman, Big Empty, Unglued, Army Ants, and Kitchenware and Candy Bars. Like, such an album. What an experience. I love music. We should do a music podcast.
Yeah.
We'd have a lot of disagreements on that, though. There's so many times where we're like, you like that? Really? I don't know why that feels... music is just so much less fun to actually talk about. It's more fun to kind of share. With video games, like, you go through an experience and you actually did something. There's something about that makes it easier to describe what you went through or what you experienced. Yeah. Because, like, you're like, oh, man, the endorphins rushed through my brain. I felt really good listening to that song. Yeah. And that's it. Back in the day, Derek Alexander did a podcast with his buddy Calvin up in Alaska where they did a music podcast. And they would put the song they were talking about underneath the discussion. The thought of editing that makes me sick. So, 12 Gracious Melodies. That's the thing on the back. I thought that was referenced. There we go. Thanks, Iceman. So, yeah.
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
It's the best game ever.
I wouldn't go that far.
It's really good.
The thing that I like about Chrono Trigger is it's not very long.
Yeah.
And the battle system for a turn-based system doesn't get that tedious.
Yeah.
There's a lot of options. You can do some fun experimenting.
The characters are good. The music is excellent.
The only big complaint is the best final fight or final end boss song wasn't used at the real end boss. My favorite song is one of the iterations that's just before the final fight. So great addition. I guess what else are we going to talk about with Stone Temple Pilots that's going to come up? I'm really sad I never saw them live.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. All right, so I guess next up, Dustin, you're going to have to take the lead on this one entirely. So Ys 9?
Yes. Ys 9 is going to
released
release in Japan September 26th.
I read the article that you linked, and it was words I understood, but none of them... It was so out of context. It seemed like a big reveal in this article. So, what's the deal with this Abo guy?
So, Adel Christian is the guy who's in every one of the Ys games. He's the guy with the red hair and the dark armor. Okay. And Dogi is his friend. Okay. They meet in the first game and they just adventure. That's what they do. But the article is just says like, hey, Adol has different colored hair and Dogi is confirmed. That's it. Oh. The article itself isn't that great. I pulled it because that's where I learned that Ys 9 was coming from. And that was from Silicon Era. Both those articles were.
8's supposed to be awesome, right? A lot of people loved 8.
Yeah, it's Lacrimosa of Donna.
Okay.
I think so.
Sure.
Yeah, I have that on PS4, and I plan on playing it at some point. In fact, speaking of Ys, I have something in the works that it's going to be, if I can pull it off, it's going to be huge for me. Okay. It's outside my wheelhouse. And I'll tell you guys, it involves a soldering iron and a ROM dumper.
Okay. I got faith. I hope you don't stab anybody in the face.
Yes.
I'm
going to stab a guy in the face with a soldering iron and then steal his ROM dumper.
That was the first time I'd ever heard the term soldering iron. And I was like, what is a soldering iron? Then I learned what it was. I was like, that would suck to get stabbed in the face with a soldering iron.
Yeah, no joke.
Especially by a janitor. Cool. Well, yeah, September 26th, there's going to be a new Ys game.
At least in Japan. We don't know when the US version's going to hit.
Oh, yeah, they'll have to do translating and all that kind of stuff.
27th.
I felt like 8. Was 8 day and date everywhere worldwide?
Maybe. I feel like that one, that was a huge release for them. So
yeah.
Maybe it was.
So maybe that'll be the case here. I don't quite remember, but I don't also remember people longing for it to come over. I just felt like it was here. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Like me, Hugh Johnson, and the happy console gamer. No, happy console gamer.
Though you hear a lot. You hear plenty about Ys. These are the ones that I know the most of. So yeah, I guess next up, for any of you that have not played Titanfall 2, you need to go and load up Half-Life 2. There's a mod that added mobility. It added double jumping and wall running and sliding and
yeah, it looks really cool.
It looks like it breaks the game in the most fun way.
Yeah.
There's a trailer only for it, right?
What's up?
There's only like a trailer for it right now. The mod's not live. Is that right?
Right.
So you got this at Game Informer. Did you ever play through Half-Life 2?
I did. I played through at least that one and episode 1. maybe I finished episode 2 also when the Orange Box came out.
Oh, okay.
Which was probably
more than a decade ago.
Years ago? Yeah.
More than a decade.
Yes.
Yep.
I refuse to believe that.
Okay, I'll lie to you. It was 3 years ago. My little brother, longtime listeners may remember, convinced me to give Half-Life 2 a try, and I played all the way through that a few years ago and loved it. And I also played all the way through Titanfall 2, and I really adore Titanfall 2. And special shout out to Kevin, or a call out, I should say. I know he bought Titanfall 2 for real cheap, and I know he hasn't played it, and that disappoints me because I haven't seen him tweet about it or put it on Instagram or anything. Play Titanfall 2. Like, it's so good. It's so fun. This looks a lot like that. Will this get you to install Half-Life 2? Reinstall it?
Nah, I have so much of a backlog. Like, it's cool. It's really cool. It looks like I'd enjoy it, but I've got so many games in so little time.
Is Titanfall 2 in your backlog?
It is. Yeah, that's going to be a Cyberpunk Saturday at some point.
Okay, then don't even mess with this.
Okay.
Just watch someone on YouTube dick around.
Like I own Titanfall 2.
Titanfall 2 above all else. Yeah, I thought you did. I just wasn't sure if you'd played it or not.
It's still in the shrink wrap.
It's fair. It's so good. And it's short.
Sweet.
It's like that 8 to 12 hour range. It's very clever. Oh, is this on here? Yes, it is. Okay, it's our last. We're bearing the lead. So yeah, check out at Game Informer. There's a mobility mod that you can check out the trailer for, or in our show notes for Half-Life 2. So, Dustin, let's talk about Nintendo being grumpy balls, being weird.
All right. Nintendo has removed Wii, WiiWare, DS, DSiWare games from their website, and their Wii U page is gone.
Do you think Nintendo DMCAs themselves to get this stuff removed? Do they go that meta?
It's just like wings of Nintendo fighting each other. After Fizami left, there's just a power vacuum. And
yes, exactly.
Each other.
Just, throats are getting slit like crazy. It's weird for them to remove these from their website.
Yeah,
to me, as like all of them at once too. It's very strange to me. You think you'd want information up, or I don't know. What was your reaction when you read this?
That I really like physical games. Like really a lot.
Yeah.
I love physical games.
Isn't that weird that like these digital games are gonna be rare because But the problem is with the physical stuff again is that they're not completed games right now. We have this horrible situation where not so much with Nintendo, but patches are required regardless of whether you have the physical disc or not. So you're not really protecting yourself potentially unless you keep all the data on the system and it never breaks, you know?
Yeah. Eventually, I think there's going to be a company that just creates games like to order. They'll have licenses with everybody that they need licenses with. And they'll be like, what's that? Castlevania Rebirth? Okay. Burn you a copy. Send it to you.
And maybe Nintendo won't be like Disney and will let stuff get into public domain.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
For example, I was on archive.org and watched They Live in full HD on archive.org.
That's awesome.
And like I downloaded some old Toho Godzillas and like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla just on archive.org. So maybe Nintendo will be cool about this stuff getting it's very unlikely considering what we're going to talk about here in a minute.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
these games, it sucks that they're getting buried, even by the company. You think they'd still have like an archive section or a did you know, but they're just gone.
Man, I hope they have backups and backups of their backups. I hope they are the exhibit of backups.
They I was about to say they probably do now, but they clearly don't care.
No. Yeah.
If they did care, maybe they'd re-release the stuff. It's just weird. I'm with you.
Even if it's in a way where they make money, that's fine. Like if you have to buy it again, that's fine. Do it. Put up a store somewhere.
I think that's the weird part is it's like they don't even want to mess with it. Maybe they are taking too much from Disney where Disney has that vault.
Yes, yeah.
Or do they still do that now they have that launched service? Are all the Disney movies on that or how do they do that? Do you have any idea?
I don't know. That's a good question. I guess they're all in a digital vault now.
I mean, it was fake scarcity to begin with.
Yeah.
You want to talk about collectors, man. People went nuts over those Disney, like, soft shell VHS tapes.
Yeah.
Because they'd only have, like, 10 of them available at any given time, and there were, like, 100 movies. Just jerks. Now they bought all the media. Although, did you see that the price for that Disney Channel streaming service is, like, $6 a month?
Huh.
Yeah. That's actually pretty good. It's like all the Pixar movies, a lot of Disney movies. I think it'll have all the Star Wars. Disney wants to be some concurrence to Netflix. Yeah, I had heard that somehow Turner Broadcasting ended up with the certain distribution or streaming rights for a lot of the Marvel stuff, and that's how they're still on Netflix. But that expires, and Disney took it back over. How'd they get that?
I don't know.
It's impressive.
I guess it was pre-Disney deal, maybe.
Well, definitely, but like, how they get those distribution rights? It just blows my. What a great salesperson.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that those WiiWare, like the Contra and Castlevania, are great examples of why we just wish that they were still for sale.
Yeah.
Does this mean like are any of those Pit Cross games gone? Yeah, that is sad. There's some good stuff probably that's going to be just stuck on YouTube videos, and that's it.
Hope your Wii hard drive doesn't crash.
Which has happened. My Wii U one crashed. My external died, so I had to get a new one. I lost all my progress.
Where it's surfaced if you own it. Like they didn't go full PT. Like if you own it, you can still download it. Like you can do that with some iOS applications, games.
So you're saying
no longer available. Go ahead.
I mean, well, I guess we did that, but that shop's closed, right? So you can't do that anymore. Is that what you mean?
Right.
I think I might have missed the first part of what you said.
No, you're right, because the shops are just no longer there.
Yes, if you can't access the shop, you can't like re-download it.
Yeah. Jeez.
That's brutal. That's
jeez.
This physical versus you know what though? I still love the digital buying. It's still what I want to do. I've converted over. I understand the rationale and the points, but damn, that convenience, man.
Yeah.
Being able to just, I'll play a game of Tetris 99. Okay, I'll quit that. All right, I'll do some Blaster Master. Oh, which I screwed up my Blaster Master save. I think I have to restart.
I saw you tweet about that.
I even wrote him an email, and I never heard back. So I think I just got to start over.
Bastards.
I got stuck. I was being an idiot. And I'm in a spot that I can't get out of. I need to be in my vehicle. I can't get back to my vehicle even with the warp back mechanic that's built into the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just boned. And all I wanted was an answer that said, "Yes, sorry, you're screwed. Well, maybe we'll try to patch that." It was my own fault. Whatever. I restarted Ori after a game-breaking thing, right?
Yeah.
So, oh well. What are you gonna do?
I need to finish the first Blaster Master for Wii, no Switch.
That's good. This one's way harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way more difficult. Which is fine. I kind of liked how easy the other one was. It was satisfying to play. Zerk says, I don't pirate, but this makes it official. Console mods and pirates are doing God's work. Oh, for sure. He's right.
Yeah.
Just the game preservation side. If you're not going to sell it, your games still need to exist. I've bought games I've pirated. How many ROMs do I have? And how many times have I still bought Super Mario 3 or Super Mario 1? Or I'm subscribed to Nintendo now. Like, I have all those ROMs, but I play them on my Switch. Oh, by the way, that one game that we didn't know what it was, that was by Taxan.
Mm-hmm.
Really difficult shooter. Like, really difficult.
Oh, okay.
It was like Space Intruder or something generic or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Really hard. Like, played it for 10 minutes and it's like, I'm done with this one hard. So yeah, RIP to all those Nintendo properties that Nintendo's hiding. They're just waiting for people to bring them out so they can smack them out of existence again.
Yep.
But before we talk about that, did you get a chance to watch the Gaming Historian's new video about the hot seat?
I haven't seen it.
There's a chair that you sit in, and the chair is a D-pad. And there's a flight stick attached to one of the arms that has like the A and B and start buttons. And he totally can play Mario in this chair. He's like, I'll call it playable, maybe even beatable. He struggled with some Mega Man 3, but overall, this thing works. So you like lean around in this chair. You'd think it'd be like the rolling rocker and just not work at all.
Yeah.
But it like worked.
I feel like that's it's like controls for your parents. You know how your parents, when they're trying to like,
yes,
when they play Nintendo and they do that?
We always called it playing like a babysitter. Because our babysitters would always.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep. So it's like a 6-minute video. Totally check it out. Norm is a really talented YouTube creator. Speaking of retroware, right?
Yeah.
He's one of the old school guys from there.
Oh, geez.
Yep. All right. So, Dustin, let's talk about Nintendo being awesome.
So this one I titled Nintendo Laughs as It Crushes Dreams. Because someone took 7 years of their time to create a port of Super Mario Brothers for the Commodore 64. And Nintendo crushed it. It said, nah, homie.
Now, just because you spent a lot of time on something doesn't mean that it's right or wrong. So I don't want to get into the sunk cost fallacy or anything like that. But Nintendo, who in the world is this possibly hurting? Have you seen it?
No, actually. The game itself?
Yeah, I was watching Unprofessional Fridays on Giant Bomb over the weekend, and they had it going on a C64 emulator. It is staggering how close this is. Like the sound effects, the scrolling, the proportions. They said the controls were really darn close, that it wasn't, of course, perfect. The colors were pretty close. And when you see, it was the Jada Sisters was the ripoff.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Gerstmann fired that up. And this is far superior. I don't know how they did it. And Jeff Gerstmann was talking about how some of the really updated C64s that had that were really like almost C128s that had like the double bits or whatever would run it without any stuttering. But when you watch him play this, there was a lot of slowdown, almost like Sonic with 100 rings getting hit slow down.
Oh.
And what's funny is the entire thing comes to a crawl. So the music slows down and speeds up and sputters a bit. But platformers did not behave like this when we were kids on PC. They just did not work like this. It's really impressive. I'd definitely check out the trailer if you can.
Hopefully he at least got an internship.
Yeah, no kidding. After 7 years, you should get a doctorate. So what's the line for you on something like this? Like, why is it that this to us feels so okay, but there's plenty of times where we've come down on the side of companies for copyright type stuff?
Well, I understand both sides. Like this guy, it's just a passion project. He loves the game. He wants to make it for some system. He probably did it for the challenge. Also, it's like a 35-year-old game on a 37-year-old system. So, like, who's losing money on this? Who's making money on this?
That's where I'm at. Is where's the market confusion, and where's the proof that there's money lost because of it?
But on Nintendo's side, if they allow this to stay up, that's blood in the water.
Yeah, they're drawing the conservative line.
Yeah,
where they're just zero tolerance.
Even if it's not necessarily true, like if there's a C64 port of this game that everybody and their grandmother can start trying to steal Nintendo properties, they just can't be seen as weak, basically.
Yeah. But it's too bad. Just because it's hard to not feel for someone that put that much effort in. However, he's obviously knew this would happen.
Yes.
There's no doubt. So he did it when it was done. Because once it's out, it's out. Mm-hmm. Like, I have another Metroid 2 remake on my PC. Because I think Zarek sent me a copy of it. But that got taken down pretty quickly. But that guy did it. He released it a little too early. Remember, it was like 90 or so % done?
Mm-hmm.
So this guy had a done game and put it out there, probably knowing that it probably would get struck down if it caught on, which it did. But it's out there. The cat's out of the bag. So, just keeping with the discussion previously, Zarek says it's also proof that copyright is being abused, and it was never intended to make it possible for something to be erased from existence. Yeah, that's a good point. And he says the line is simple: copyright has been warped from its original intent, and it may be legal for Nintendo, but it's not moral. I tend to, I guess, fall on that with something this old, or even going to the DSi stuff, like just erasing your history like that, just so you can pop it up later. It feels a little manipulative.
Yeah. Like
the reason Mario on the NES went away is because people got cooler systems and just didn't want to play Nintendo anymore.
Yeah.
And they saw that, or at least it comes across that way. I'm straw manning a little bit there, but it's really cool. Just go check out the trailer, like watch some gameplay of this. It's really impressive to watch an NES game run so close to accurate on a Commodore 64. It's really impressive. So cool. That's going to be it for the news this week. So, Dustin, are we going to do some trivia, or are we going to talk about the YouTube channel of the week first?
Oh, let's do trivia.
Trivia. All right. Fucking layup.
Oh man, now I got to get it right.
Come on, I'll be shocked if you don't get this right. Who was the designer of the 1999 game System Shock 2, also known for directing the 2007 spiritual successor BioShock?
Ken Levine?
Yes, there you go.
Ooh.
You're a little hesitant there. I thought that was easy peasy.
You said it, and I was like, System Shock 2, Will Wright. And I was like, wait, was that Deus Ex?
Okay. But that's why I said I'll be shocked. I had a...
Yeah.
All right, well, obviously you pick up that pun. Whatever.
Man, I'm glad I pulled that out. I feel good.
Heart's racing a little bit. All right, let me go to the official tally marker and update Dustin. He is now pulled a 2 out of 4, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a trivia master on our in your midst.
50%.
But you know what? You got to say this list. These are fun. These are good questions.
Yeah, that trivia game is.
I'm impressed.
Yeah,
because we had. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to relist every single question every episode to show how great this little 50 pack of questions is. Yeah, DIVX says that he loves the BioShock series. I've played bits of 2 and bits of 1. I've played through Infinite twice, though. I love Infinite. You were kind of lukewarm on Infinite. Was it you or is it my brother that was lukewarm on Infinite?
that was me.
Okay. Maybe he was, too. I loved Infinite. Maybe it's just because it was my first exposure. I'd never played System Shock or 2. Mm-hmm. Never played any of the BioShock, so... Zarek says Dustin was sweating it on that one. We may have to get Dustin drunk for one of these questions if he keeps getting them right. Hey, he missed Papu, so...
I did. I've never played Crash Bandicoot.
What?
Oh, I played a little bit of the first level. When it first came out, I rented it from Blockbuster.
It sold really well, didn't it, those re-releases? Didn't those sell really well?
I think so, yeah.
Naughty Dog, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then those definitely sold really well.
Yeah.
I get Banjo and Kazooie and Crash Bandicoot mixed up in my mind.
Wannabe mascots?
They're wildly different games, but the names get sideways on me.
Although Crash Bandicoot did end up being an actual mascot, and he's in my favorite video game commercial of all time.
Was that the Smash Brothers one?
For me, it was the Crash Team Racing.
Oh, okay.
And he pulls up beside an old lady, and he goes, "You and me, Grandma. Booyah, Grandma. Booyah."
I've seen that shared on Twitter and whatnot. Never played it, though. DIVX says, BioShock Infinite's ending is pretty mind-blowing. The story itself of the series is extremely well made. Yeah, I really loved the ending. The way BioShock Infinite ended for me was really satisfying. I really, really enjoyed it. And Giant Bomb even did everybody in the office, it seemed like, had finished the game except for Vinny. And everyone knew where he was, so they had like a 2-hour stream of Vinny finishing it. And then Vinny was just like not playing. It was so frustrating. All he wanted to do was like explore and look around corners and like check stuff out instead of like just progressing to see how it all kind of wraps up. So like there was like a major plot point happening, like a mind-blowing thing, and his back was to it because he was looking at the wall like, oh, like just like lollygag, and it was like, turn around, you're missing like the best part of the game. You're looking at the textures on the wall to see if there's a secret.
I remember that. Oh, goodness.
Because the whole crew was so excited. They're like, well, we can't talk about this until Vinny's done. Let's all watch Vinny do it. And they're like, dude, play the game. What are you doing? It was fun. Azeric says, Cloud and Calypso were PlayStation mascots. Calypso?
From,
like God of War? Oh. Wasn't Calypso like a Pirates of the Caribbean thing?
I don't know.
It's like a generic, right?
If memory serves, he was an FMV guy with like a cheap plastic mask on that granted you a wish, but it was like the monkey's paw at the end of Twisted Metal.
I never played Twisted Metal. But is Calypso like a Greek god or something? It's a Twisted Metal clown?
Twisted Metal clown. Oh, Sweet Tooth. Right? Sweet Tooth?
I don't know. I know the Twisted Metal cloud. I don't know if its name is Sweet Tooth or... Sweet Tooth sounds right. It sounds familiar. There's a nymph in Greek mythology that went by Calypso.
Oh,
All right. I didn't mean generic, just I didn't have a better word for it. Huh?
Ooh, dude, I don't know. Xeric's asking if the clown became Calypso. I don't recall.
I remember Kevin was a big Twisted Metal fan. I never got into Twisted Metal. My buddy Pete had it when we were growing up. But
man. I played the hell out of the demo that came with my PlayStation.
Yeah?
Nah, man. I played it over and over and over.
I never had the PlayStation. So I miss a lot of that stuff. All right, well, Ken Levine, thank you for making great video games and for being an easy trivia answer. So, Dustin, it's time to talk about the YouTube channel of the week.
YouTube channel of the week. Week. Okay, let's go with Cinema for Cynics. This guy is a movie critic, and he is super deadpan and hilarious. I've seen a bunch of his videos, and
You
they're
definitely
all
have,
really
I
good.
got to say, Dustin, you definitely have a type. About a third of the guys you feature are described in that manner.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of them, and they're all great. And the one I'm going to feature this week is the one for Brain Scan, starring one Edward Furlong from 1996.
Really?
Yes.
Brain Scan.
For people who don't know, Edward Furlong was John Connor in Terminator 2.
And the younger star in American History X.
Yeah.
He was excellent in that movie.
Yeah, he was.
That's a hard one to watch more than once. It's like...
It is.
Requiem for a Dream was another one like that I was like, yep, watch that once. It's good enough.
Never watch that again.
I watched it with the girl I dated in high school. We were up at the lake at her parents' cottage, and I forget who recommended it. It wasn't me. I think it was my girlfriend, but she had us watch Requiem for a Dream with her mom.
Oh, man.
Dude.
Yikes.
Brutal. It wasn't even like the heroin and stuff. It was the Jennifer Connelly dildo scene. That was like...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mrs. M. I'm not going to do that to your daughter. I don't know. Why'd we watch this movie?
I would have jumped right out of a window.
Dude, it was horrible.
Oh, man.
Yep. Poor... It was weird. It was just weird. I don't know. She was always skeptical of me anyway, so like... What are you going to do? Zarek says, Mario is a short human plumber. Why does everyone think the mascots have to be a furry? Sonic is a lame mascot. He doesn't have a dance named after him. That's true. Can I do a side tangent about the Mario show?
Oh, yeah.
So my brother's daughter... the only cartoons she watches, because it's my brother, is the Super Mario Super Show and King of the Hill. And his daughter, like, it's unbelievable. She can be crying, but if you start playing the King of the Hill theme song, she gets hyped. She loves it. So
it's by the Refreshments, isn't it?
I believe you're right. I think you're right. But she even knows it, like, if you just vocalize it. So we were trying to have her pose for pictures, and everyone's going, dun, 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 and she's like, yeah. She's so funny. I'm like, Mark, you better be careful. She, like, we don't like country music. I'm like, this is, like, really in a gray area, man. But apparently she, like, adores Alice in Chains as well, because that's my brother. Sweet. So... He's like, don't worry, I got it covered. He even has, like, Chuck Mangione vinyls because it's funny, since that's a throwaway character in the first season of King of the Hill.
Uh-huh.
Like, all right, Mark, that's cool. But it was something else to see her just react that way to, and my whole family singing or humming the King of the Hill theme song together to try to get her to pose. It was really funny. Which I love. It's one of my favorite movie or shows of all time. So cool. All right. So, but anyways, so Brain Scan with Edward Furlong. What kind of a movie is that? I'm not familiar with it.
It is a he gets a video game and he's playing the video game, but the video game starts becoming real.
All right.
And it is 90s as hell.
It looks like it. It looks, according to the Google search, it says 94 instead of 96.
Oh, balls.
95% of Google users like this movie.
Of course they do.
IMDb gives it a 6.1 out of 10, which IMDb ratings are way lower than most places. So
yeah,
it seems like this would be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, it would. At one point, the antagonist of the movie dances to Primus's "Welcome to This World."
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You know, I'm not a big Primus fan, but I've seen them in concert twice. I appreciate them. Speaking, that's one of my brother's favorite bands. I'm sure that his daughter's gonna love Primus as well. She's gonna the kids that she's gonna like talk about cartoons with. She's gonna be like, "Yeah, you know, don't you like Peggy?" And they're gonna be like, "Peggy, Peggy who?" Cool. So yeah, I'll definitely go check out Cinema for Cynics. Does he always do these more obscure things like this, or does he do big? You said you watch a lot of his videos. Does he do popular releases?
He did that Ethan Hawke vampire movie with Willem Dafoe and Sam Neill. Something about darkness. I think he did The Purge. He's got a lot.
Okay.
He's got a lot of stuff.
Oh, not that it matters, but what's like a average duration? Is it all over the place, or is he like a 10 or 12 minute guy? Is he a half hour kind of guy?
I think they vary. I think depending on the movie, like between 10 and 20.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sounds good. I've been in a movie critique watching mood. It's just, I don't know why I enjoy movie critiques so much.
A lot of it is hearing how it affected other people, like where they were in their lives when they watched it. And you kind of get to watch the movie without all the time being wasted. You get it's like the Cliff Notes of movies.
Yeah, I think that definitely helps, but I do think it's probably the personal attachment stuff that, because it's fun when there's a stranger that has something like lockstep in common with you. It's like, wow, someone else had that exact same experience. How cool. So, yeah, awesome. Well, Dustin, what have you been playing, man? You've been up to some cool stuff. We teased it at the beginning.
Yeah, so I finally got around to buying Sekito, Shadows Die Twice. Except for my shadow, because people are talking about an easy mode. They should have included a hard mode in this game.
Oh wow,
because I'm just walking through it.
I hear shadow, and it makes me think of Tool 46 and 2. Stepping through my shadow.
But no, in reality, I've already died dozens of times.
Of course,
it's an incredibly difficult game, but it's totally fair. It is. So what surprised me, I've really, like, I shut out everything about Sekiro. I didn't want to know anything about it, so I went into it kind of blind. It's a stealth game.
That's right up your alley.
Yeah, it's great. It actually, playing it today, I was playing it and I was like, this reminds me of something. It reminds me of Ground Zeroes.
I was going to ask if it was Metal Gear.
It was. It reminds me of when I was doing the hard S rank missions for the channel.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it reminds me of.
Oh, cool. Well,
except a little more forgiving.
I was going to say, well, this also, how's the verticality treating you? Because obviously, unless you scale up a side of a hill or whatever to look in that little fenced-in area in Ground Zeroes, there's no real verticality in that. So,
right.
How has that affected the stealth aspect of it for you? Do you like it? Do you not notice it? Is it?
I love it.
Is it cool? Yeah. Is it satisfying?
Yeah, because you are ultra mobile. Like, you are so capable of just getting out of there. Like, at any time, you can just grapple away. I'm also so Zurich is saying it's not totally for a late game. I should mention that I am a very early game still. Like I haven't even hit the first boss yet.
Okay.
The first real boss on the horseback. But I just beat my second general. He's they basically serve as mini bosses. And what I am running into some difficulty because I have that Souls control scheme and fight style so ingrained into me. Breaking it is incredibly difficult.
Is it because you're so used to like the block and roll and then attack?
That and the literal control scheme. Because in Souls, for every game that there is, you hit the square button to heal.
Okay.
In this, you hit the up button to heal.
Oh, weird. Okay. I didn't realize it would be a change like that. I thought it would be more like getting used to parrying in Bloodborne versus blocking in Dark Souls. It's put buttons in different spots.
Yeah, there is a lot of that. Getting used to the deflection and posture mechanics are part of it, but it's like multiplied by the fact that I'll get hit and I'll back up and I'll hit the square button to heal and nothing happens, of course, because that doesn't heal you.
Can you remap it?
I can, but every button is used.
Oh, okay. So,
and the button I would have to switch would be the action button, which also, if you hold it down, you like suck in all the money that your enemies drop.
Okay. Well, you'll get used to it then.
Yeah, I almost remapped it and then I didn't, and I was just like, no, I'm just going to get used to playing it like this.
I did that with God of War. I tried to put it back to the old school controls and decided that no, I'm just going to play it the way it was intended. Hey, David, how you doing? Thanks for joining.
Hey, David, what's up, man? But yeah, I wrote down it's Tenchu meets Ninja Gaiden filtered through Souls.
Okay.
I was expecting a like feudal Japan Souls game, and it is not that at all. Like it is a stealth game where like it is. They have tutorials. No Souls game has a tutorial.
Okay.
You have the messages on the ground, but this has like literal stop you. A prompt comes up and says, to kill someone, you'll need to do a death blow. To do a death blow, you need to break their posture. It's really easy to break their posture if you can deflect using the L1 button.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, it's nice. I'd say it's cool because it's different. It's a totally different way to present information than they normally do, and it's a more conventional way.
And this was published by Activision, which I was really surprised to see Activision's name on this. They usually, FromSoft put out all the Dark Souls games through Namco Bandai.
Oh, yeah.
Namco Bandai.
Whatever. Google Translate will get it.
Zurich says, some of the enemy grabs are broken. You'll dodge and they'll grab where you were and you'll react as if you were grabbed. And they'll hover to you and finish the grab. I second this completely. I've died to an enemy that way.
So, like, you've definitely moved out of the way, but because it grabbed where you were, and then it warps to you, almost.
Yeah, like my character, like he was jumping at my character, and I dodged, and he goes whoop and grabs me. Like the tracking on the grab, like turned last minute.
Oh,
got me.
It sounds almost like when there's lag in a multiplayer game, and things just kind of speed up. You're like, well, that's not where I was. Like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it looked like, except it's the
single player game.
Yeah. But so like it's so much more forgiving than the Souls games are because you can fall and it doesn't kill you automatically. It'll take like half your health and put you back. It's kind of like the Zelda.
Oh, okay.
If you fall somewhere in Zelda, it will just plop you back up and take some of your life. They
probably needed to do that with how mobile you are.
Yes.
Like probably inadvertently like sling yourself off something.
Absolutely. You can grapple up onto these tree limbs to get around, and if you try to walk off the tree limb, you'll like hit an invisible wall. They're like, no, don't do that. Just stay on. Like they help you out in a lot of different ways.
That's cool.
So it is in a lot of ways forgiving. The combat is where it does not forgive anything. Like you get punished for every mistake you make, and the normal enemies can kill you in a few hits, like 2-3 hits. They'll kill you.
Cool. Well, I'm hoping that we have updates for a while. You think this will be a game that you can continue with to the point where you see to the end?
I hope so. Yeah. Like I'm right before the first boss, and I beat a general, which is they're basically mini bosses, and like I fought him dozens of times before I finally beat him. And man, when I finally beat him, it felt good. Like I was still on the adrenaline high when we started the podcast.
Oh, you did that tonight? Oh, cool.
Yeah, that was right before I captured video of it, so it'll be up on the channel here in a minute.
Nice. All right, so what else do you want to chat about?
The Retro Game Club. I've been listening to Hugh's new podcast, and
it's a good show.
It's great. It's really good. But Hugh cracks me up the way he's Hugh, because like it's episode 0, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm Hugh. I used to host the Retro League podcast. I did that for about 9 years, and now I don't." That's it. That's the rest. And he goes on with the podcast.
Just got to address that real quick.
And done. It's great.
He did one of the episodes. I was going through. I'm all caught up. I think they've got 7 or 8 now. But Rob was saying that he's got a friend that claimed he could beat Contra without dying, and Hugh goes, "I call shenanigans." So I sent him an email, and I'm like, Rob's not the only one with a friend that can beat Contra without the code, and sent him a link. I titled the email "Shenanigans."
Awesome.
It didn't come through on the podcast. I listened today, and they talked about it, but the little jokes I had in there didn't get read. But yeah, it's a good show. It is.
Yeah.
It is not the Retro League with a different Rob.
Right.
It is. It's still Hugh, but it's totally different subject matter. It's really, really cool. And as you listen to more, they just get into the nitty gritty of some stuff. They're both programmers, so they get into really interesting things about the way games are built. Mm-hmm. But they have just a base level knowledge of that kind of programming, so they still talk about it in a way that I feel like I'm understanding it, because they're not super knowledgeable about it either, but they have more of a knowledge, so they're able to translate it to common folk like us. It's Retro Game Club, definitely check it out. It's a very good podcast. So cool. Glad you've dipped your toe into the Retro Game Club pool. Anything else before I talk about what I'm going to be up to?
Oh, you liked Salt and Sanctuary, didn't you?
I did not play it. Was very interested in it though, because that's that 2D Souls. I haven't played it.
Oh, you played a different one, didn't you? What'd you play?
Jotun or Hyper Light Drifter? Dead Cells.
Dead Cells. That was it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were played Salt and Sanctuary.
No, I would. I've watched videos about it. Just never picked it up.
But yeah, I got it for. I picked it up for PS4.
Salt and Sanctuary.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
It's actually they have a physical release. It is a limited run physical release, but they're super cheap on eBay.
Oh, cool.
Like I got a blind box copy of it from PAX that someone put up on eBay for like $45.
Not bad.
Still sealed, everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would have not expected sealed for a limited run game to a PAX
I was
edition.
Totally shocked.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I was thinking it was going to be like $100.
Yeah, Salt and Sanctuary is supposed to be pretty good too. I remember a lot of coverage coming out about it and people liking it a lot. There, to go back to Sekiro, he says it's not even a tracking thing. I replayed the video in slow motion. Sekiro starts his animation Sekiro starts his animation for being grabbed before the enemy starts to turn towards you. He grabs you telekinetically.
Oh man,
Or like Mario Kart rubber banding and all that kind of stuff. Like that just that sounds brutal.
It sounds to me like you need to get good.
Maybe they do need an easy mode for Zarek. Like kitty mode, we can call it.
Now, I'm pretty sure, Zarek, I was trying to watch your first episode real quick before we started this, and I think you already beat, in your first episode, the spear guy, the shinobi hunter in the Hirata Estates. So... So if you did, you beat a guy I like. I think Zarek is like stupid good at this game for real.
Yeah, but let's pretend that he's not because it's funnier. He's got a cat crying emoji in the chat. Vepper saying, "Oh snap, we've drawn blood." So let's move on before we hurt his feelings anymore. I played a little bit more of Tetris 99 just because it's super fun. I'll never win another game. But I got one, so I'll take it. It's just awesome.
Was asleep when you played?
No, apparently not. I ran into the ones that have Adderall or whatever. It's just honestly though, like just getting a top 10 finish feels great.
Yeah.
I will continue to play this game on a weekly basis for a long time, I bet. And never care if I ever get one ever again. Just because every now and again I get a top 10, you get hot, and it's fun. Like, you can trick people into attacking you, and then you just drop a bunch of Tetrises on them, and it screws them over. It's really, really fun. Cuphead came out for Nintendo Switch. So I almost bought it, but decided that I should just play the PC version that I already have, and... They did a big patch, so they added some languages, and now you can play as Mugman or Cuphead. You don't have to play two-player to be Mugman. That was the only thing about Lost Levels that I liked more than Super Mario 1, was the fact that I could play as Luigi. I like green and white better than red and whatever.
Red and brown.
I just don't like red that much.
Yeah.
It's okay. But I like green and white. I don't know. It just was... I liked it. So
in Cuphead, the Switch version, the physical version, they said that they were going to wait until all the DLC's out. So it's just the whole game on card.
Awesome. That's really good.
Definitely picking that up.
Because Nintendo, or some games have been doing the one game's on the disc, you download the others. Like, I think Spyro might have been like that. Or it was going to be like that. Maybe they changed it after like a bit of an uproar. Did I tell you that I Am 8-Bit is putting out a different version of the Cuphead vinyl? And instead of the $100 4 vinyl collector set thing, they're doing like a greatest hits 2 vinyls, but they're adding some extra solos that weren't in there before, and it's $30. Like, so I pre-ordered that. I can't wait to get it. It should be here in a few months, but I'm very excited. I was listening to the Cuphead soundtrack at work the other day, and people were like, "What are you listening to?" It's like 30s jazz. I'm like, it's awesome. Don't act like you don't love it. But it's silly, but just playing as Mugman is awesome. And I cannot wait for that DLC. I wonder if it's got to be paid, I would imagine. Are you playing as like a girl or something?
Maybe
it's called like Miss Peppermint's Land, or maybe the girl's the like boss this time. I don't know. Whatever they do, I don't care. Like, I'm super excited for more new Cuphead. That game is just amazing. A few weeks ago, I said I can't believe I beat it. I'm back to believing I could beat it again.
Oh, okay. Good.
Like, I got my legs under me, and I started getting good at Cuphead again. What a phenomenal video game! It's just, God, it's so good. And then lastly, I'm burning out on the first level of Super Mario 2 or Doki Doki Panic because I really want to make sure that I get my streaming set up correct so that I can do that stream thing I wanted to do with Doki Doki Panic to find the true ending. But all the testing I've done to make sure that my setup and rig is working again has had me replay that a little too much. The really interesting thing about Doki Doki Panic is there's, like, you just pick a character and you play through the game as the character. You don't have character select in between the levels. So that'll be cool, because I have my own particular ways that I play Super Mario, so I skip a lot of stuff. This playthrough will force me to see a lot of the game that I haven't probably seen since I was a little kid.
Cool.
Which will be fun.
That'll be awesome. It was like playing it for the first time again.
Oh, a lot of it will be like, oh yeah, I forgot about this.
Yeah.
That's what I'm anticipating. Yeah, and I can't wait to cover some of the differences. Like, there's some things that are surprisingly identical that didn't seem like they would come from the game, and there's some changes that are made that are quite jarring and let you really know that it's not the Super Mario game. But they really did put a lot of effort into reskinning it. It wasn't just here are the new sprites. Okay, push it out the door.
Yeah.
Like, they really did change a lot of stuff. So, yeah, that'll be cool. All right, well, Dustin, we had some feedback from Damez.
Yeah, we did.
So, I guess, where do you want to start?
Let me do newest first.
Okay. You just let me know when you want me to start reading them.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, I was not ready. I thought you were ready.
Let me do it.
You had enough comments that I figured like halfway through you might pass the baton.
Okay. All right. So he says, for the Oculus, have your homie get Audio Shield. Forget Beat Saber. Audio Shield, you can load your own music files. So amazing. Also, if either of you want to buy a dirt cheap full Oculus set with extra camera and all kinds of extra goodies, my brother is selling his. With your USA dollars, it would be cheap too. Extra cables, extra comfort third-party padding, extra USB 3 card, extra camera for better tracking, whole kit $500 Canada dollars plus shipping.
I'm not, but that's almost free for us, right?
Yeah,
$500 Canadian.
$75.
Realistically, I think it would be about like $250, $300, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
He goes. That is a great price, though. By the way.
Yeah. He goes on to say you can get a ROM hack of Sonic 1 where you. Well, hold on. Let me do it the way he's typed it. You can get a ROM hack of Sonic 1 where they add the spin dash.
Just out of nowhere, just ramps up into all caps.
Dustin, if you're going to be a physical games owner guy, then you should want Solar Jetman.
P.S. He's not in caps anymore.
Yeah, he goes right back down.
Back down to
normal. Mario's original name was not Jumpman. Hear me out. It is true it called him Jumpman on the Donkey Kong cabinet, but it was not a name. It was generic, not a name. Move the Jumpman, the man who jumps. They did not name him. Similar if you imagine another type of old game. Maybe it said, move the spaceship left and right. It does not mean the name was spaceship. When they first gave Mario a name, it was Mario Bros. Therefore, his name was Mario. I didn't mod my Turbo 16. I bought a homemade composite cable thing I just plug in for proper AV, and it is awesome. Only $40-ish too. Then I sold it and bought PC Engine Duo, so problem solved.
Nice.
There.
Excellent point. Way to drill into the semantics, but I think on a technical level, he's right. Right? It's kind of hard to argue with it.
Yeah. Maybe the spaceship is named Spaceship.
Maybe it is. That'd be a great name for a dog.
Spaceship?
Yeah. Just be funny. Wait, what's your dog's name? Spaceship. All right, weirdo. I don't know. I think I would, if I were to pick a side to debate on this one, I think I'd pick. He didn't have a name. Not his name was Jumpman. Again, I'm picking a side. I think both sides could win. But I kind of like the case he made.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to see the cabinet.
That's true. All right, maybe we'll have to do some sleuthing.
Nintendo.
Yeah. Go to Google Images before Nintendo strikes them down.
He goes on to say they called it the Xbox One because that is how many games Microsoft made for it.
That's a good joke.
Zing. That was funny when Dreamcast guy said, "Holy crap! Yes, Streets of Rage 2 is included." As if that was amazing. Streets of Rage 2 was on everything and expected. Not surprising.
I think the worry was that it might be 1, not 2.
Yeah.
Because isn't 2 the one that's got the more renowned soundtrack and all that? And
I think so.
I just feel like people like 2 more.
Yeah. It's got a kid with skates on it. So.
Hey, speaking of that kind of stuff, like Street Rage and all that, I think I heard Giant Bomb say that Way Forward was making a Double Dragon game.
Really?
Yeah. It was Way Forward.
Did they make Neon?
They didn't. I don't think they did Neon.
Oh, okay.
I think I gotta go give Neon a try again because there are people that really like it. I hated Neon so much. I was pissed that we got a code and I felt this obligation to make a review about it because I hated it so much.
Oh man,
I must have just been playing it wrong or something. Because I've heard people that are like, no, you got to push through it. Like gets really good. I hated it.
Huh.
Now that means I got to dust off the PS3 out. Okay, this is never going to happen.
Never mind. Demet says Castlevania Rebirth would have been great, but think about it, that would require a Wii emulator, and that ain't going to happen, I bet.
That's a great point. Technical limitations.
They could just take the source code, pop off the Wii header, and attach a PS4 header.
Oh, that's all you have to do?
Yeah, it's that easy.
No wonder Nintendo was mad at the Commodore 64 guy. He didn't even do anything.
See out, Chevron, PS4 game.
Close bracket. Done.
Close bracket.
You could compile and it runs. There you go. Yeah, that's a good reason why it probably won't happen. There's probably technical limitations. I bet I would be even if it was possible, it wouldn't be on the wouldn't be on the collection.
Maybe there'll be a Rebirth collection.
That's why Nintendo's hiding everything. They really want to give us a great surprise.
Yes.
All right, so then he goes on to say, I thought I heard Dracula was the Game Boy version, not the Famicom version. I'm too lazy to double check it now.
Every screenshot I've seen has been color.
Okay. So, well, the GameSpot article we had did have the thing next to it. It said if it was the Game Boy version or Famicom or whatever. Mm-hmm. So if you're so inclined, you can go double check that. We are 64 bits, but fast bits. Nice. It's just the bit wars. Now it's teraflops because the bits are too out and insane. He says, don't forget about the teens buying in stores more than others. They don't have credit cards, and tons of mom and dads are bums and don't have credit cards either. Yet some do, but they still not give Junior their credit card. So yeah, that makes
the reason that Dave Ramsey money management.
Huh?
You know, like get rid of them credit card. Dave Ramsey.
Is he like
money management?
Don't know who that is.
Should he's just a guy who says don't put yourself in debt.
Oh well. I have a mortgage. I don't know what to. I'm not following the rules. I've got an excellent credit score though, so
same.
Maybe he'd be happy about that. I don't know. It's the only debt that I have. I don't have any credit card debt or student loans or car or anything. I just have a mortgage, so
yeah,
happy about that.
I have a car note and house, and technically Kim's student debt.
That you got to inherit. Fun.
Yeah. Only half of it, though, right? That's how it works.
No, unfortunately, no. Well, you'd think. Also, he says Microsoft probably pays $20 or less to have the Blu-ray drive. So how much less could they charge for it anyways? The drive is so cheap, it's not worth making this sad edition, in his opinion. Isn't there also licensing, though, related to Blu-ray? They have to pay Sony like more than just the physical drive, which is so weird that Sony doesn't have the 4K Blu-ray drives. but Microsoft licenses it. Oh, dude, Oliver Harper put out his Blu-ray collection video, and I was like, I don't know if I'm going to watch this. This is going to get expensive. I only bought one Blu-ray after watching his video, or 4K Blu-ray. Got The Matrix.
Ooh.
4K. Man, I love that movie. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Keanu Reeves actually does look extremely young in it. I feel like he's aging really well, but you'd see him in The Matrix and it's like, oh wow, he's a baby. He's just a little guy. Dumbass also goes on to say, if I make a top 10 video, I will instead disclaim this is the official top 10 list. If your list is different than this, or one of your favorite games is not on the list, you are stupid, and you are a terrorist that hates freedom and women and gays too. You're an enemy of the LGBT community as well. You like to punch babies in the face. That's his disclaimer. So, swinging hard the other way. He says, I just got the SD to NES flash cart. Holy crap, Zelda has full motion video cutscenes in it and full orchestra audio. It can handle up to 4 gigabytes of data per game for video and CD audio. If you don't know about it, search for videos on MSU1 patched games for SD to SNES. I'm going to add the Metallica music to some of the shoot 'em ups next. Imagine R-Type 3 Master of Puppets Edition. That's fun. I like that. Dumbass also says, Tisk, Scott, you are not supposed to overclock production machines that broadcast. Did you try upping the voltage on that CPU? I lowered the overclock on the CPU. I didn't up the voltage, but I think it was the graphics card was my problem. I put that back to stock and haven't had any problems since. I definitely did not win the Silicon lottery with the graphics card that I got. It is not a good overclocker, even though it's an addition it's got boost or whatever, or like has a little bit of factory overclocking to it, but it's not one that you can just go bananas with, unfortunately. So yeah, I had no idea. Like, Dustin, how many years have we been podcasting, and I've been doing it with all my hardware overclocked?
I'm surprised it didn't explode and kill us both.
Yeah, it zaps you through the internet and
yeah.
So you were right, dumbass. It was definitely the overclocking that I think was causing the problems, because I've been rock steady since, and my vitals look great. So yeah, I think that was it. He says, if people can't wait to get good or are disabled, they can still watch a playthrough of the video, or a playthrough online if they want to see all of the art of the game. But I would not mind an easy mode, or it says, but I would not mind easy mode or not. Basically, I am right there in line with the great Jim Sterling in his recent video on this. Thank God for Jim Sterling. I don't know what it is about Jim Sterling. Like, even when I vehemently disagree with him about something, I still like really enjoy it. Like, because sometimes I just think he's dead wrong, and sometimes I absolutely agree with him. But regardless, I still really like his takes on stuff.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't mind easy modes at all. I just don't. I think our problem comes when people feel like you can't release a game without it, and then they start picking on the developer or whatever.
Yes.
Now, if I was making a game, I would probably put in an easy mode or have those kinds of concessions, because I would want as many people to experience the game as I can, like the way that Celeste did things.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't like it when people say that they're like an evil company or that are bad, unethical people because they didn't make this consideration.
Yeah. Or when they co-opt the problems of disabled people because they want to make a point about how games are hard.
Yeah.
When the argument was never about
right.
disabled people playing video games.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and then lastly, Dumbass says, the reason why Mario 2 in Japan looks like that is they just put it out on the Famicom Disk System. So in production, they knew it would be super, super cheap. So yes, basically they just did a quick ROM hack to shed out a bunch of more levels. taking very little time to do so, so it made sense. Nintendo of America did the right thing by not giving us these versions when producing a physical cart and charging as much as we would have had to have paid. We would have been very disappointed. He says, give us a brand new game that made a lot more sense due to the expensive physical cartridges, not just because Americans couldn't handle it. Yeah, there's definitely some business decisions in there as well.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, Dumbass, thanks for catching up, man, and all the great feedback. Also, shout out to DIVX for commenting on your Sekiro video.
Yes.
Fun stuff. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for the show this week, man. I guess before I jump into all the wrap-up stuff, any other final thoughts?
Sekiro is the second highest purchased game in April, I think.
What would have been first?
The Division 2 was first.
I mean, I hear that's awesome.
Yeah.
I just hear it's great.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you what. The Division came out about the same time as that multiplayer-only Battlefield game came out. It was like the Division, and there was a different game that had a similar name, and I don't know the difference between the two. I think Division is the one that happens in New York and is like a shooter RPG.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a copy of the Division on PC, and I've played a little bit of it. I got it for free. I don't know how. Maybe it came with my graphics card or something. I definitely didn't buy it. But it was too much for me. Like, there's a lot of systems and stuff. I got a little overwhelmed and stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we got to get here maybe over the next few weeks, we'll dip into maybe another spoiler cast.
Yeah.
I'm about ready to watch The Thing.
Yeah.
And then did you happen to catch any of Kevin and I conversation on Twitter?
Yes. Yeah, apparently we have like exact opposite tastes in horror movies.
It sounds like it.
I don't know, maybe I just like all horror movies. Like he'll be like, I don't like It Follows, but this movie was great. And I'll be like, yeah, that movie was great.
I feel like maybe I'm somewhere in the middle. I really enjoyed It Follows, but I think it was because I understood I saw it, that it reminded me of movies from when I was younger. Mm-hmm. And I thought like the kind of the nerdy boyfriend did an excellent job acting in the movie. I thought the characters were well written, and then obviously were really biased from Disaster Piece. So
yeah.
And then hearing that, to hear his take on like a John Carpenter style score was like really impressive. So I guess I looked at it through that kind of a lens. So I was definitely really influenced going into the movie, but I really enjoyed it. I'd watch that again. It's a really dumb premise, and like the monster it's like inconsistent.
Yeah.
But I was like I was fine with it because I liked all the other parts around it. So yeah. Here coming up soon, we'll get The Thing going.
We'll do The Thing.
We'll do The Thing. You sound like idiots talking on the internet.
Wait a minute.
I hate that when people are like, I did a thing. I don't know why it makes my skin crawl, but it does. So yeah, we'll watch a movie, get ready for a spoiler cast. So that's going to be the show for this week. So shout out to Dumbass. Thank you very much for commenting and listening. Everyone joining us in chat, thank you very much. GameCuber, Iceman, good to see you. It's been a while. Vepper, DIVX, obviously Zarek, one of our best buds on the internet. And I want to thank Ben Landis very much for letting us use his song Through the Forest as our intro music. And shout out to Cubby. We're using his song Tidal Force as our outro music for the audio version of the podcast. Our RSS feed is available at classicelite.com. That's classic L337. Or Classic 1337 if you really want to get crazy about it. We're also on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, all that fun stuff. On social media, we have the username at Classic Leet. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. If you buy digital games on Amazon, consider going through our links in the description. Yeah, or if you want, you can just donate us to PayPal, I guess, if you want to help with some of our domain fees. We just paid our stuff for the next coming year. So maybe we'll have to do like a charity stream for us sometime.
Fundraiser.
Or a fundraiser for us. We need like $150 a year to keep the podcast running for no money out of our pocket. A little more than that. Maybe closer to $200. It's not much. Over the course of a year, not bad. But so that's going to be it for the show this week. Thanks for everybody who supports us and who has listened. I want to thank you very much for checking out episode 288. I totally forgot to do a Back to the Future thing. So I guess we'll see you next week on episode 289.
Boosh.
All right. Well, thanks guys for hanging out. Appreciate it. I'm going to jump and go use the restroom. So you guys all have a wonderful night. I will talk to you later.
Peace. Peace. Peace.
Peace.